Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Heartangles from CZT Vandana Krishna. Oh, this is a neat one. I like it a lot. All right. And it is very versatile. I'm going to demonstrate. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to do two things. Because it is kind of hard to see when you do, it's essentially a four square. So I'm going to try this. I thought about it after I had started doing, I don't know, who knows, I might, if I have room, maybe I'll change up my step out. Because on Vandana's step out, she puts, heart tangles, it means hearts plus triangles, and then in parentheses also a fragment for triangular grid. So let's show here's what the fragment is. This will essentially be two fragments, I guess. Well, I could leave the one side blank. I'm going to ponder on that. I'm going to do the one side, and and we'll ponder. Okay. So that way you can see this close up. Let's see, which way do I want to go? Let's see. Oh, I'm going to do like as if what was it this way? Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. I'm looking at my first box. And so, on my step out, and that way it'll kind of match. All right. We're going to do, essentially it's a C-shaped curve line, maybe with a little S flare or something. It's a half a heart, if that helps to think about it. But if you have trouble drawing hearts, think of it as a C-shaped curve line. All right, so I'm going to aim for the middle here. And I'm going to draw a big one like that. And this would mean little flare, because really it is a C shape, but at the end I kind of tuck it in a little bit. So that's where I throw in the S. Okay. Now, one thing I discovered with this, and a lot of times, I don't know if you tangle a lot, tell me if you in the comments if you have this happen too, where especially the highly repetitive ones, I get a mantra that starts forming like in my head, and so a lot of times I kind of wait for that. It's like, all right, let's see what it's telling me. And this one, wait, let me go back here. Okay, whatever direction you start, the top part of the C, we're gonna aim things that way. So this, I just want to make sure I have it right. Yeah, translating my own, what goes on in my head. It's not fun sometimes. So I was seeing, okay, the top of the heart, and then I'm turning it this way so that the top of the heart, it's moving in this direction. So then we're going to do another one here on this edge. Okay. And then we're following it this way. And we're going to do another one like that. I hope that made some sense. Well, you know what? Maybe I should do the other side as well. What do you think? Okay, I will. All right. On the other side, we're going to mirror it. So luckily we have one half here already. So you can mirror that. Okay. So we'll do that. Then same thing. Oh, this is going to lead us around. We're going to go that direction around the triangle. So as if, if I wanted to, but I'm not going to go dot, 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 dot. I don't personally like, sometimes people put arrows on their, tangles, and sometimes it's helpful, but sometimes I don't find it helpful. Sometimes I find it more confusing, so I don't want to do that. But if that makes sense, so following, this, the top curve of the heart around this way, and there we have it. Okay, now let's do it in a four square grid, because you could get eyeball confused. And I know just from looking at the step out a little bit, I was just like, wait, how am I doing that exactly? All right, so you can do this grid however you want. For instance, you could do, because I see she has it as a border a couple times. So if you just have, one, whatever depth your border is, and then essentially, you could break it up into boxes and then just a zigzag. So this diagonal would go then the opposite direction each time. So that way you have this continuous border. But this, I'm just going to do it in, like I said, in this, just a square grid. You can take this out, however big you want. Oh, you know what? That's easier. Let's do, because it's going to, sorry, let me move. Let me move this there. Okay, better. I did something and knocked it, and so everything is a little off. All right. Sometimes it's easier when you're drawing a grid that is with triangles, and so where you're essentially drawing an asterisk. Sometimes it's nicer to do the diagonals first, and then now. Oh, and here's another thought. You could, eyeball like this. Okay, yep. Oh, good, I made it. Or you could, if it's easier for you to see, start at the middle and go out. Start at the middle here and go out. That way you don't miss. I've missed too many times, it's like, oh, well, okay. So you find ways to, counter it. Okay, now, starting in the same place, so essentially with this, like that. Okay, so remember we're doing just the little C shape, and then really, if you look, I say in the middle-ish, meaning my aim, my goal, whether I hit it or not is another story, is to have kind of the middle of this in the middle of that line, if that makes any sense. So that's my goal. Yeah, whatever happens. If it's close, it's all right. You will win. You win the cigar, even if it's close in Zentangle. All right, and then, like I said, following the top of that C shape around like that. Then, pick whichever, since my pen is here and the tile is in this configuration, I'm just going to finish this one here. And then, following this around. And what's neat about this tangle is it does create its own, well, and because it's a fragment, the fun part about fragments in reticula is that we end up creating meta patterns. So those are the, as we finish, well, actually really this is the fragment. The heart is the meta pattern. Now that's kind of planned, but what's neat is this, this kind of thing that's weaving around on the outside is kind of interesting too. All right. And then now, it doesn't matter which direction you go because we're doing the same thing. And as long as you remember, kind of, if the mantra helps, great. But we're always moving in the direction of the top of the C shape. And then flipping backwards. And this, it doesn't hurt so much, doing the mirroring. Usually it hurts my brain to do something, backwards all of a sudden. But this one, because it's, I'm just following the top of that C shape. Oh, and then, and it once you kind of get the flow of that, I kind of didn't want to stop because it's like, oh, this is fun. It's very soothing. And you can just lose yourself in it. And you don't have to think. That's why I kind of like it when a mantra develops because, thinking is overrated sometimes. And it's just nice to be able to, I'm just doing, and I'm having fun. And I'm focusing on the stroke at hand. All right, one more. And then get to the end, I'm like, okay, let's see if this worked. And look at that. Of course it did. There we go. Is that, honestly, just right there is neat enough. It really, really is. Okay, but wait, there's more. Let looking here. Okay, so Vandana puts in another step, and I really had to look at this many times. So in my version of the step out, I did it in just one of the box first, and then did it all over just for ease of seeing what it is that we're doing. And what we're doing is this. We're going from the top of this C shape and just doing a curve line. First it looked like we were rounding, all of the, like the intersections and things. And it is kind of, it's just, but we're connecting it from this heart. Let me take that back. The top of this C shape to the bottom of this C shape. Sometimes I like to talk in Zentangle ease, I call it, in the language of our elemental, our strokes, and just because. And then from this top, we're going tops to bottom and bottoms to tops, whichever way you want to look at it. And so just a nice curve line like that. And same thing here. And I am turning the tile because I like right now I feel like I want my hand I want to use the natural curve of my hand. So you see how that, it's a very interesting looking there. And then we're going to do that with all of them. So it was overwhelming looking at all of them, in red. And I just had, like I said, sometimes I have trouble, and I figure, well, if I'm having trouble, at least one other person maybe, and if not, oh well. That's okay. And this is one of those where they are small. You don't have to use the curve of your hand. Sometimes to me it's just a kind of a comfort thing. I don't know if I could get the tile to stay still. Yeah. And then we're always curving this to the intersection that it's near. So I was just thinking, I'm like, well, I could accidentally curve. Well, no. If I tried to curve it the other way, I would be crossing lines, and we're not doing that. So that's another way to do it. I just did Huggins, not too long ago. Oh no, yesterday. Gosh, it seemed like it was forever. It was yesterday. At my Zentangle Essentials class, and when I first heard of that way of doing that tangle. And if you search Huggins, if you've not done the tangle, or I missed one right here. Or if you have trouble with it, I do have a video. I think I have 2 videos on it, maybe. No, there's just one. There was one tangle I accidentally did twice, which is not a big deal. But I do have this goal of doing a new tangle each day. All right, that didn't kind of line up, but that's all right. And then here, it's good to focus on one triangle at a time and go around. And you know what I should do? It just occurred to me. You could follow, just like we did these C shapes, right? We followed the direction of the top. Could do that with these C shapes. And so there's that. And it's even fancier. And creates these other meta shapes that you can have fun with. Now, after this, it is completely up to you how you want to play with it. In the description section, again, you'll find the links to the step outs. And you'll see some interesting ways, especially in the samples. And that's why I love making sure to share from the creator of the tangle, so you can see it, number 1, from their own hand, 2, because a lot of times, sometimes they put tips in, and then 3, how they decorate it and have fun with it in the samples. If most provide some kind of sample. So, okay, I'm debating between. Okay, so here's what I think I'm gonna do, because I love disguising the grid lines. And so I think I'm going to disguise them. And that's kind of what she has us doing in the step out. Oop. And that would be just draw lines, essentially aura-ing that center one. like that. All right. And this, because it's kind of small, like a lot of times when I'm doing, this kind of decoration inside, a lot of times I will have it, I'm almost thinking, oh no, I can fill it in later if I don't. If you don't like it, you can always fill it in afterwards. A lot of times I like to do these kind of lines light, so that way it doesn't matter, if they're straight or not. But this, I kind of want to match the way that center one is, so that way you don't see it. You have no idea. If you hadn't seen these step outs, you wouldn't know how this was done. It'd be like, oh my goodness, look at that. And so all kinds of options for how you might want to, play with this. Because you can, fill it in, decorate it. Like I said, I'm trying to think what else. Well, you know what? You could do these lines, and if for some reason you don't like them going this direction, you can have them go the other direction too, and make, like cross hatching in there. That would be kind of fun. And you're still disguising the grid. You could, and you'll see on the step out, you could just fill these in solid. And then, aura, I know the one she has this part where she's auraing these curve lines. I have a different idea for that, actually. And we'll do the sides too, because those are part of it. Or, I'm gonna think on it, because it could turn into something else. You could just leave those hearts as they are. So many options. Well, I don't know if that will work or not, because let's see. It's one of those, why not? Let's just do. I'm going to round these coming in the other direction. I was debating on, but you know what? If I just do these, if I want to come in and subdivide and put a line in between, I think I maybe not. So just doing that, filling in the little gap like that, but let's make it a little nicer. There we go. I was partly thinking to go in between, but that's, if I was doing it bigger, maybe. And let's see. Then I made those kind of more not as light as I was first thinking. So whatever the first one was, I just kept it going. And okay, one dot. Neat. It is neat. So I might continue it throughout, because, looking at the triangle, it's like, okay, here's this part, right? And then copying it down into these sections. And I think I will do that as I chat. You could also have fun with using the pencil. And, oh, wait. Well, we should do some kind of shading, I suppose. Let's do that before I can I can do the other part after. All right, there it is. Okay, this poor little pencil is getting so small. So here's just a thought. I'm picking a side, at least to start. And like, which ones am I doing? Those ones. Okay, what am I doing? I'm doing the left side of the top of the heart. I just personally find it easier just to pick a side and just go with it. It's one of the things that we talk about when we talk about shading in Zentangle is we don't worry about light source and things like that. And of course, if you understand those principles and you can do whatever you want. It's all good. But if you're, like me, it's like, well, I don't have that background, so it's not natural to just, go, oh, I'm just going to put shading here and I'm going to put shading here. And you don't want to think about it too much, because then it starts, taking a little bit away from the whole point of Zentangle, which is, as a way to teach meditation, to practice meditation through art. And so we could kind of lose that if we're not careful. So that is neat. I'm also thinking, let's try this. Just on the opposite side. Oh, let's just do the one. Oh, isn't that neat? Okay, so I'm going to do that. On the opposite sides, I'm going to put the graphite. And if you're wondering, why is she turning her tile every time? Why not just put it over here? I like to have the tip of the pencil or the tip of the Tortillion on the line that I don't want to go over. Or you could also think of it as the line where you want your graphite to be the darkest. Rick has mentioned that before. Whichever way works. And so that's why I do it. And so then, now I'm going to come on this side. Oh, wait, let's see. Do we even need? Yes, we do. Wait. Oh. Let's see. Wait a minute. Thinking. Oh. Okay. This side. Let me. I'm taking it back. We're going to do this on. Okay. We're just looking at this inside shape, regardless of if I have graphite inside on the thing, because it's like we need to have it on apparently it looks like I got myself in a conundrum, because I was doing it on the one side of the heart, but so then when you're looking at it this way, I probably should have done it on the opposite side, but it's Zentangle, it doesn't matter, it's all good. But let's do this. Still works. Like that. All right. Oh, it's just neat. Just neat. All right. Well, as I finish this, I will do my wrapping up stuff. If you have enjoyed this, and I hope you have, would love it if you click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section where you will find links to the step outs. Also, ways to connect with me if you wish. So below the step out links, you will see my link tree, and there I have a link to my website where you can take a look at the classes that I offer. I do offer so twice weekly. A lot of them are free. Some of them do have a fee, and you can also follow my blog there if you like. Then I also have link to, well, actually, it's saying if you do enjoy it, feel free to bookmark that, because it has a link back to this channel. And oh, I still need my pen. Why am I capping it up? All right, so this I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you can bookmark that. That way you have access to all of that. Also links to my Facebook page, and if you happen to be on Facebook and want to hang out with other Tangle addicts, we would love to hang out with you. There's a link there to our private Facebook group. That doesn't seem quite right there, does it? Oh, it's just not as wide, because that would be Sorry, talking. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just doing. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save that one till last. Those ones till last. We'll do the corners first. But anyway, yeah. If you would like to hang out with a bunch of tanglers, we would love to have you. There are 4. If you want to join that, there are 4 questions that you have to answer to gain entry. Just want to make sure you're aware of that, and that's it. And then you can join us for the fun. All right, so let's see that it's just finishing it up nicely. It wouldn't have worked with that. And I think these here are, it's so funny because when you look at it from a different perspective, here's the line, here's this, they're just up. I can still do the same thing. It's just for whatever reason smaller. It works. Oh, I just love it. How fun is this? So, this is the daily tangle for what will be, because I always do it the evening before the day. So this is kicking off February, and I'm not gonna do a like an official Valentangles like I have done before, because sometimes people get a lot of people get hearted out. So I will throw in some things periodically. Up until, so not just heart patterns, but some neat flower patterns, things to go with in the spirit of Valentine's Day, but hopefully not enough to burn anybody out. We can still have fun. All right, there we go. It's just neat. All right, again, I hope you enjoyed it. What a fun tangle this is. Way too much fun. All right, I think I have said everything. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.